Hello and thanks for joining us. Now we all need a bit of cheering up at the moment. So as part of France 24's week-long series on COVID versus culture, today we're talking about some of the positive ways the arts are fighting back in the coronavirus era. We're starting with how France's most traditional cultural spaces are getting down with the kids on TikTok. Here's Emerald Maxwell.
It's a new revolution for the Château de Versailles. The French palace has arrived on video sharing app TikTok, and the numbers speak for themselves. With content like this lightning tour of the chateau in 20 seconds, its page has managed to attract more than 400,000 likes. Thomas Garnier is in charge of Versailles' social media accounts. He's the one who comes up with ideas for videos.
You only have a minute for a video on TikTok, so you have to be creative with sped-up shots or people moving around.
Most of the videos reveal everyday, behind-the-scenes views of life at the chateau.
In just a few seconds, you get an idea of the place. And especially for young people, it's a totally different way of seeing the chateau.
Since its arrival on the social media platform in December, Versailles' TikTok channel has picked up tens of thousands of followers. People like this young influencer, who has some 16,000 followers herself.
It sparks interest in the chateau and its history among a younger public, and it allows us to maintain a relationship with the chateau.
Classic TikTok content tends to look more like this, by young people, for young people, with an average age of 15 to 25. But since lockdown, the Chinese platform has begun colonizing culture. In Paris, museums like Quai Branly and Le Grand Palais are among the pioneers.
Museums have already made a lot of progress, but TikTok is helping them broaden their appeal and image and making culture in general more accessible.
And it's not just household names. Establishments like Paris's Army Museum, with its 9,000 followers, have been somewhat surprising hits.
We've reached our goal because just a minute of video piques their curiosity and makes them want to visit the museum when it reopens.
We're even reaching school-age people, which is important for us.
There are 11 million people on TikTok in France today. For museums, conquering the platform's young users has only just begun.
Now, France loves its artists so much that there's a new French TV channel dedicated entirely to all things cultural, from dance to literature. Culturebox launched at the start of February as a temporary 24-hour channel designed to maintain the link between artists and their public. It doesn't replace the magic of a live performance, but it gives artists an outlet, as Emerald Maxwell reports.
Cultural spaces in France have stood devastatingly empty for months. But finally, there's a ray of hope for the artistic sector, in the shape of a new and free TV channel.
Les concerts et les spectacles, ça nous manque tellement. Alors en attendant la réouverture des salles et des lieux culturels, j'ai une bonne nouvelle.
Welcome to Culturebox, a channel dedicated entirely to music, theatre and art in general. It's a project dreamt up during France's second lockdown in the autumn, in response to the lingering health crisis.
We had to go further because the situation wasn't getting any better for the sector. So we thought by launching a temporary channel, it would give artists the possibility to show people what they were doing.
The temporary platform broadcasts shows filmed prior to the pandemic, but also new recordings made especially for the channel. It doesn't replace the magic of a live performance, but it gives artists an outlet.
I think it'll cheer up all the people who work in the sector. All the creatives, technicians, actors, because it makes them feel more useful and appreciated.
The channel hosts a different theme every evening, and also features interviews with performers to talk about their work. With a €5 million budget, the temporary service is designed to plug the culture gap until artistic spaces are allowed to reopen.
While museums are closed in France, many art galleries are open, and the public is making good use of them. Since November, the French government has allowed only essential services to stay active. This includes supermarket shops and galleries. Cultural spaces like museums, theatres and cinemas have been deemed non-essential, much to the disarray of France's entertainment industry. Peter O'Brien has the story.
At this gallery in Paris, there are 350 square metres of art by renowned artists to get lost in. For museum lovers missing their fix, this is as good as it gets.
It's like a museum. The rooms are large and the layout is spacious.
It's some consolation because I miss going to museums a lot.
Galleries are still open, so why not go?
Defying expectations, Templon Gallery hasn't done badly out of the pandemic.
We were very scared the art market would have a big turndown because some auction houses and small galleries were badly hit. But for the moment, our turnover's been stable compared to 2019, which is surprising.
This more intimate gallery is showing off its collection of photography by Jean-Michel Lenoir.
This one's very mellow, pictorial, minimalist.
Visitors from outside Paris haven't been seen here for months, but there's still been a steady arrival of new faces.
People who never used to come to galleries have started coming. One of these ladies I'd never met before.
But it's little comfort when it comes to planning for the future.
I can't predict what will happen next, just like everyone else.
4/5 of galleries in France have seen a drop in turnover. Smaller ones in particular have had to apply for government aid. They're also, of course, a lifeline for the artists themselves.
It can have a very dangerous impact on artists, because if less art is sold, they have less of an income. And if galleries close, there will be fewer artists with their work on display.
Emergency state funding has so far helped galleries tread water. Of all cultural sectors hit by the pandemic, art dealers know they're far from the worst off.
At times like this, laughter is more important than ever. Although stand-up comedians have lost the live aspect of their work, it hasn't stopped them taking inspiration from the COVID-19 pandemic. They're keeping our spirits up on social networks. Time for some French humour.
Le monde entier est un virus. Il est impossible de se voir.
They say laughter is often the best medicine.
Je n'ai rien compris au déconfinement. On dirait les règles de Koh-Lanta, je comprends rien.
And as early as March, COVID-flavoured jokes began invading social media.
Un mètre de distance, bon Dieu de merde! Elle respecte pas les gestes barrières.
From masks to working from home.
Ok, est-ce que là, quelqu'un m'entend?
To lockdown.
Il est nul ce confinement 2. Premier confinement, il était top. De toute façon, c'est comme toutes les suites, elles sont moins bien.
Comedians have found ample material in the COVID crisis.
La maîtresse, elle me manque.
À nous aussi, chérie.
À nous aussi.
Heureusement qu'ils sont là, oui, c'est clair. Plus le monde va mal, plus je suis des comptes d'humoristes.
C'est vrai qu'ils nous ont apporté pas mal de décompression. Ça nous divertit quand on s'ennuie, on peut plus aller au cinéma, on peut plus aller dans les musées, on peut plus aller dans tout ce qui est culturel. Du coup, on est obligé de chercher ça sur YouTube, quoi.
Deprived of a stage, some entertainers have had to reinvent themselves on social networks.
Ça, c'est l'image que j'ai des soignants quand j'écoute le gouvernement. Ça, c'est la réalité des soignants. Il n'y a pas comme un léger décalage?
Moi, j'ai repensé tout mon métier, que ce soit d'un point de vue technique, parce qu'effectivement, il faut investir dans du matériel, et que ce soit d'un point de vue psychologique, parce que c'est le moment de ma carrière où je me suis senti le plus utile.
Confinés, on était tous les deux confinés.
Les Goguettes are 4 musicians who have found viral success with their parodies of chansons françaises.
Pour pas se contaminer, il faut se confiner, mais pour se déconfiner, il faut être immunisé. Pour être immunisé, il faut se faire contaminer. Pour se faire contaminer, il faut se déconfiner. C'est QFD.
C'est une période tellement difficile pour tout le monde que si on peut apporter un peu de plaisir et je sais pas, de réconfort et de consolation aux gens, c'est évidemment énorme pour nous, quoi. C'est un peu le rôle d'un artiste, je pense.
All of these comedians are looking forward to treading the boards again as soon as possible, when audiences will finally be able to thank them for all the laughs, both infectious and vital.
Le temps béni de la pandémie, on pense encore à toi, Corona.
That brings us to the end of the show about the positive and inventive ways culture is being kept alive during COVID. It's part of our Culture versus COVID series that's on all this week on France 24. Now, we're going to leave you with an online photography exhibition created by Paris's Grand Palais. It's called Black and White and includes photos from the likes of Man Ray, Ralph Gibson, Robert Doisneau and Diane Arbus. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Remember our website. We're also on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.
From North America to the southern tip of Patagonia, join us for a look at the latest political, economic, cultural and social news from the Americas.
Inside the Americas, presented by Jeannie Godula on France 24 and France24.com.